So what can the church do? What can the church do to encourage both the church and individuals in spreading the gospel, personal evangelism and evangelism as the church?
What can the church do to spread the gospel? That's really saying, what can the church do to evangelize? And the answer to that is, evangelize. That is to say, it can be done with Bible studies, investigative Bible studies, campus ministries, friendship Bible studies in neighborhoods and so on. But to be intentional to talk about Christ rather than simply become defensive and not talk about anything except in your closest Christian friends. And people are finding that out. Overcoming our fear of what people will think about us. That's a big part of it. Often we don't speak up because we're a bit embarrassed. But as we come to love Christ more and understand His Word better, then it's just more natural to talk about the gospel. And moreover, believability and credibility is often a function of how we act in many circles today, not least on university campuses. They will watch how you respond and interact with people more closely than they will pay attention to what you say. What you say is important, that's the content. But your credibility often turns on the courtesy with which you engage others. And so that's something that we have to keep learning and so on. And there are good models to follow. In PCA circles, one of the great models to follow, of course, is a Tim Keller. Whether you like everything he says or not doesn't really matter, but he has learned to converse with New Yorkers, which is, speaking now as a Chicagoan, that's a real challenge. But he's learned to do that, and is helping others train to do that as well. So when you start asking, what can we do? What we can do specifically often depends on growing sensitivity and knowledge of the people to whom we're speaking. And that means it's good to listen to people who have experience elsewhere, who have learned to communicate the gospel well in this subculture or that subculture or some other subculture. Watch them, listen, pray for them. Go and do thou likewise.